What is up, everyone, and welcome to today's reaction video. And today's reaction was filmed as a part of our monthly live stream over on the Patreon. All that means for you here in YouTube land is that you may see some cuts and some edits through the video during the parts where I have it pause. All that's happened here is I've taken a moment to engage with the chat, to answer any questions that they have, to keep the party going and keep everyone having a good time. And then I've come back to the main reaction. You have not missed any part of the main reaction. I won't have unpaused the video or anything like that. We won't have cut anything out of the YouTube edit. You will see the full reaction. The only thing that you'll have missed out on is the chance to be a part of the party over on the live stream, because it is always such an incredibly good time. So if you want to be in those live stream reactions, if you want to be a part of the audience, I do 6 reactions, usually over about 2 to 2.5 hours, and it is the absolute best time. So check that out over on Patreon. But for now, we are going to get into this reaction. As always, please check out the original video linked in the description below. Give it a like, give it a comment, and subscribe to the original artist. And we are going to get into this reaction. Let's go. That's interesting. When I heard those first few notes, I assumed this was using the same kind of backing track, or the same music as the Disturbed version, and it still seems to be keeping to a similar vein to that, but I don't think it is. It's got kind of a distorted kind of drum sound to it in the background, just slightly. It's giving me the kind of vibes of the kind of covers that Corvix does, where it's those kind of dark cinematic covers. Something about the piano sounds reasonably normal for Sound of Silence, but in the background you kind of have this kind of echoey horror movie-ish kind of sound of a drum going that just gives it a bit of sorrow and a bit of darkness to it.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because the vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence and rest.
Hold on a sec. I was already gonna say he snuck a sneaky little bass one in there on sound. I wasn't expecting it to be on the whoom out of nowhere. But then you're going to sing the word silence normal until you get to that last little part of it and just slip into a cat's purr, just a that wasn't even a bass note. It was just a rumble. There was no other sound coming out than a freaking rumble there. Also, can I just say, seeing someone who looks like Big Brev do this song is really, really interesting and hits in a very different way. Because let's be real, if you saw him walking down the street, if you saw him walking down the street, your first impression would be big, tough, macho, gym bro. He's got the full neck beard. He's buff as all crap. He's in a sleeveless shirt, and you would be like, oh yeah, cool. Not necessarily saying toxic masculinity kind of guy, but definitely full masculinity, macho kind of guy. To see him giving a full-on performance, showing full emotion, delivering this song to the camera, and singing a song that, like, the way he's singing this is unashamedly with full emotion packed into it, and it just makes it hit in a really, really interesting way compared to some of the other versions of this you might have heard, because it's literally coming across like it's not the kind of guy you expect to see singing it. And I know it's not necessarily like a song about mental health or things like that. It's a song about disconnection and things, but the fact that it's being delivered by him, it almost comes across that way. It's almost giving a real mental health kind of vibe in a way that I wasn't expecting it to, coming from someone like him. And that's really, really, it's hitting me in a really interesting way, seeing someone like Brev perform this, which is really cool.
And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp.
I think that only just now that bass rumble has ended. He kept that going all the way through there, and I did not realize he was going to do that. And the same bass note got me twice, which is ridiculous.
The halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp.
Yes.
When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never shared. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence.
Yo, Brev is wild, because I was already going to say earlier, and every time I've paused, I've forgotten to mention it. I was already going to say his voice in general is so warm, and he has such a strong and beautiful sounding chest voice. His normal singing voice sounds amazing. Then he has the next level of all those bass notes that he can do. Like, at the start of this song, he wasn't really doing the bass stuff until he started slipping it in there. He sounds amazing doing both. He could have just sung this song completely in his chest voice, out of that kind of, like, it's still a more bassy range, but out of the full war bass stuff, and it would have been wild. But slipping some of that in there, sprinkling in there, makes it even better. But now we've gotten into this part where it's picking up, and he's even putting the kind of in there, that kind of aggression and that growl into it. He's just so freaking talented. Like, absolutely incredible voice. Also, I know that Big Brev's done like sea shanties with other people and things like that. I don't know what his normal style is, but he has the kind of voice of like not even sea shanty kind of stuff. He has the kind of voice of like, I would expect this on a military kind of Spartan vessel, of like the captain screaming at people to get things done. When he was doing that last thing, I felt like I needed to snap to attention as he was screaming that at me, because there was such an air of authority in his voice. Like, I've previously reacted to Epic the Musical on here, on my channel, with Panda, and he has the kind of voice that you could give to any one of the gods in Epic the Musical, and it would be like, yep, yes, that is Zeus, that is Poseidon, that is Hades, that is whoever you want it to be, that is scary. Like, he can do the scary voice 100%.
And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Echoed in the wells of silence.
I absolutely love what he did there. And it was so freaking clever, and I've not seen anyone else do it. This big moment where he threw his arms out and was belting these huge notes. were purposely, if I'm not mistaken, layered so much and put so far the back of the mix that no notes were there. You couldn't hear anything at first. And then as it went on, I was literally going, is that the music or is that these huge notes that he's done that have been put so quietly in the background behind everything else that you can't even hear them? If you listen to this with like good headphones, again, I can't tell if it's the backing track or if it's actually him belting the notes. And I'm pretty sure it's done so clever that he is doing these huge, insane, big notes, and then they've made them so quiet that there's no note there. It's either that, which works perfectly with Sound of Silence because again, it's all getting so lost, or there are no notes, which again works even better for Sound of Silence because it's the Sound of Silence. Like it's hilarious. That's just genius to do. But I need to hear it again. Yeah, no, there is. He is there. There are things going on in the background there that sound like in any other song would be like, oh yeah, they've used like a choir in the background and just put that choir way to the back of the mix because you can hear the big note going on, but it's so far back that it's just lost. And if that does it, like it's literally getting lost in all the static, getting lost in all the noise, and everything else around it is so going on so much that you just go, oh, he's not actually making any noise. But he's literally screaming out to the world to be heard, and we can't hear him. And if that isn't the theme of this song, if that isn't the story of this song, that it's like my word, like literally the next part after it is my words, well, it's like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. My words meant nothing. No one heard them. If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a sound? He's screaming at the top of his lungs, and we're not hearing him because of all the other static and white noise going on.
But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the Lord God they made. And the signs flashed out its warning in the ways that it was forming. And the signs.
It's the small things in this song that are blowing me away. It is the small things. It was that little run that he did that sounded so damn good, and I could not help but go, yes, afterwards. And then after that, you're going to take a song that, again, maybe not, I can't remember if there's a big difference between the Simon and Garfunkel version, which I've barely listened to, and the Disturbed version, which I've listened to way too much, but I do know that the Disturbed version that popped off and went super viral and everyone was obsessed with for a while there has a very particular way that it does that, and the sign flashed out, it hits warning in the words that it was forming. And the fact that Brev did his own thing with that note, it's such a small adjustment, but it makes the song your own. It makes what you're doing not just be a karaoke version or a carbon copy of the original, and that is so, so good. It makes such a difference when you just add little things like that, where you change up the pacing slightly, change up the inflection, change up little things like that. It makes it your own.
In the ways that it was forming, and the signs said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
I love the shh in there. That's so good. Also, I have never been more tempted to watch the fact that a video of his came up where he does an in-depth breakdown of this song. I've never been more tempted to watch a breakdown in my life just for that part where everything goes quiet, so he can explain what he did there. Because That was such a cool moment. This was such a freaking cool cover of this song. Again, the wealth of talent on the internet blows my mind, because the fact that if we are being honest here, have reacted to too many versions of this song. I should be sick of it now. I should be like, guys, please stop putting this in front of me. I've heard it. But the fact is, every version I've heard does something unique with it, does something different with it. And like, I don't know how many more unique versions we can possibly have, but every time I think we've run out of options, someone finds a way to blow my mind with it in a whole new way. And this was no exception. Every single time I am so impressed. And this is a song, I can understand why people are covering it, because it is such a chance to show off your vocal chops. It is such a song that you can just go absolutely ham on and deliver emotion and big vocals and cool gimmicks the whole way through it. And like, at this point, unless I'm going to hear like a tenor cover of this, unless I'm going to hear someone do a really high angelic version of it, I think we've run out. Like, in the bass world, surely there's not that much more we could do with this song. But every time I think that, someone else comes through with a different bass version, I'm like, well, it's like I've never heard the song before. And Brev is no exception to that. His voice is stunning. Everything he did with this was awesome. I am so freaking impressed with this. This was awesome. Thank you so much for checking out this reaction. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed filming it. As always, like I said at the beginning, please check out the original video linked in the description. Go to the original and give it all of the support and the love, and subscribe to the original artist, support the original upload. And also, please leave this video a like and a comment, and subscribe to this channel, because it helps out the channel so much. I can't even begin to tell you. And if you want to support me even further, as I said at the beginning, check me out over on Patreon, because over there I do weekly polls for the reactions I do here on the channel. I also do weekly TV show reactions, a monthly movie reaction, and the monthly live streams that this video came from. So you get a chance to be in the audience for these live streams, or even have a request in those live streams. And at the highest tier, you can get a guaranteed request right here on the channel. So check all those tiers out over on my Patreon. I will see you all in the next reaction video. Have yourself a fantastic day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.